Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. So I know people are still trickling into the meeting. People are still joining. Some people are still connecting to the audio. But we are going to go ahead and get started in just a minute. But I did just want to take this time to welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy that everyone could join us today and be with us to hear from these awesome brokers. So for those of you who don't know, Broker Connect is an interactive biweekly meeting with top brokers and ARIVE users where you can learn best practices, gain insights into how other people are using the ARIVE system, and just get a ton of tips. So I am here today with Nike Ojo and Mike Alberico, and I'm so excited to have them. But before we let these folks introduce themselves and before we open the floor to all of your questions, I do just have a couple of pieces of business to take care of. So first things first, August 5th, next Friday, we are hosting a special edition of ARIVE University where you can hear from Phil Shoemaker of Home Point, John Gibson of Flagstar Bank, Chris Vinson of Windsor Mortgage, and Eddie Perez from EPM. And you can hear these folks discuss how brokers can thrive in an uncertain market. This is a super timely topic right now, so don't miss this one. It's going to be great. As far as weekly events, we have 2 sessions of new user training every single week. We have office hours with our product experts twice a week, and we have a brand new onboarding and Q&A session offered 3 times per week, and you do not need to be an ARIVE user to join this one. We also have ARIVE University, and then of course we have this session, Broker Connect, every other week. So there are just a ton of opportunities to learn. We definitely invite you all to take advantage of them. All right, now we can dive into Broker Connect. So Nike, Mike, thank you both so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. All right, so Nike, I am going to kick it over to you first to introduce yourself and your brokerage, and then Mike, you can do the same.
All right, so my name is Nike Ojo, and I am the broker owner of Discovered Homes here in Sugar Land, Texas.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I've been in the business since 2002. So
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, I'm sorry, so August this year, yeah, actually next month is actually going to make 20 years that I've been in the mortgage business. I run the business alongside my husband, and it's been fun since then.
Awesome. Mike?
Yes, my name is Mike Alberico. I am in Raleigh, North Carolina. I've been in the mortgage industry. It'll be 10 years in November. The entire time I've been a broker. I worked at another broker shop for the first 9.5 years of my career, and recently switched over to start a branch with UMortgage here in Raleigh in February, and just glad I didn't leave the broker model.
Same here. Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys again so much for being here. I am going to kick things off with a couple of questions, and then we can open it up for everyone on this call. All right, Nike, so I'm going to start with you again. Can you discuss how you discovered ARIVE, maybe why you decided to try it initially, and ultimately why you decided to choose it for your business?
Okay, so I learned about ARIVE back in 2019. I had to go back to my first email back when ARIVE started. And back then, I didn't think it was right for me. I was using Bike Pro. So I've been using Bike Pro since I started the business. And then, so when I came back, I think about 2 years ago, I started hearing about ARIVE again. And then last year was really when I took a deep look into ARIVE. I see a lot of comments about ARIVE, and then when I went to Fuse, I think it was Tashara was talking about ARIVE, and what's his name again? It was I forgot his name. both of them were talking about ARIVE. So I attended that session. And then I thought, okay, well, I think I need to take a look at this platform. And so I finally made a decision in November of last year to try the the trial version of it. And well, before then, I actually watched the video that Lisa Lund posted on YouTube. So that gave me a lot of insights on what the platform can actually do. And so I decided to just start out with the trial, and we fell in love with it the first time. I had assistants that had just gotten into the mortgage business. It was just like a dream come true for every one of them. So, and then we took a break a little bit because we were so busy last year. We didn't want to switch, moving our files from, oh, before then, you know, I had actually, I was working with Lending Pad because I switched over from Bytes then to Lending Pad. Then I was so afraid of moving all of my files to ARIVE. So I was indecisive on moving along with ARIVE. But then I spoke to, I think, Chris Ayala. So we went over, you know, his platform, how he was able to move, and that was what made it for me. So I switched over, and we've been loving it since then.
Yay, that's awesome to hear. Mike, how about you?
He's muted.
He's muted. There.
Sorry, I didn't know I could not unmute myself.
Oh, can you not?
No, so I won't remute myself so that doesn't happen again. So I was actually one of the first trial users when ARIVE came out and enjoyed it, but we never actually made the switch at my last shop. So I used Calyx for 9.5 years and it was awful. Like nothing changed on that software. It's not intuitive. It's just, not to bash them, but it's garbage software. So I wish we would have made the ARIVE switch right when it first came out. And that was one of the things that was a positive for me joining over at UMortgage was having ARIVE. And since then my last shop has switched to ARIVE, but I was using Calyx while I was over there. So I went from starting a new job at a new company, building a branch out in brand new software. It probably took me 2 weeks to master. It's that user friendly. So I like, that's what I mean. I wish I would have switched to it years ago because I didn't really do any of the formal training. It was more screen share with a couple of people that work at UMortgage that have been using ARIVE for a while, like Sean Hammond and Jimmy Hobson showed me out. And it's just been an amazing tool. Like the learning curve I was scared of, but if you can basically operate a web browser or do a Google search, then you're gonna figure out how to use ARIVE. And you can essentially self-teach yourself how to set up the lists that automatically fire, adjust the milestone updates, very easy, where you don't have to go into third-party CRM and link it into whatever you're using. You can just go in there. Like I love how we have it set for the branch, but you can easily just switch it up per the client. So I got like an investor, 7th transaction with me. He texts me, he doesn't want 900 emails, just turn the updates off. He knows, Mike, is the appraisal in, I can do it that way. Then I have some agents that want everything on, like they want no titles, order, and receipt. That's fine, I can turn that on. So it was a huge game changer for my business. It definitely freed up time to where I could stay in the same pace of loans and not have to waste time dealing with like Calyx and another system, etc.
Love hearing that. Cool. So before we get into some of the next questions, I did just want to take a second and tell everyone on this call that you can now unmute yourself, and Mike, you should be able to do the same now, and ask your questions directly. So just a reminder, this is your time. If you're on this call right now, this is your time to ask questions. If you aren't super comfortable asking questions, or maybe you have a cold and you don't want to speak, you can always drop them in the chat. That's that's totally fine. I can absolutely read that question for you. But we want you to feel comfortable just jumping into this conversation. This is a very informal, open conversation. So if you have questions for these awesome guests, please feel free and ask them. So can you talk about a little bit about how you guys organize your pipeline? Is there a specific way, a better way? Like how are you guys making the most of your organization there?
Okay, so for me, I have I have the leads, then I have the new files, the approved files. I have approved with conditions, sorry, the pre-qualified, approved with conditions, clear to close, and docs out. So I just have everything, like once I open my platform, I have everything. I just want to look at everything. I don't want to like section them out. I just want to see everything that I've had, everything that I've touched within the last couple of days, just staring at me. So that's how I use mine.
Yeah, I'm basically the same way. I want to see everything and where it's at, and didn't really adjust much on there because it was built out pretty well. And I hate to bring this up because if you guys ask follow-up questions, I'm not going to know the answer, but our ARIVE talks to Salesforce, but we have IT guys that are geniuses that did that. So when we do the like pre-approved for someone's out shopping, if it's just a lead in there, it'll communicate with Salesforce and give us milestone updates and reminders as well. So that's a great tool of how it can talk to other systems and help keep you on track and drip your clients as well.
Awesome. And can you guys talk a little, because this is a big topic, can you guys talk a little bit about call reports and what that process is like, and possibly how it changed for you using ARIVE?
Okay. When I was using the Bike Pro, it was horrible. I was always late. I was always late submitting my call report. But with ARIVE, just a click of a button and my call report is done. And prior to ARIVE, I would spend days trying to figure out what goes to where and this and that. And that has totally changed. Actually, that was one of the reasons why I switched to ARIVE, the ease of use and submitting my call reports, because that's really big. So it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I am fortunate enough that I don't have to do call reports, but one report that I am responsible for is I'm an active member in Vetted VA. So we have internal reporting that we have to turn into Vetted VA. And we actually could build out a report for it right out of ARIVE. So, when I was using Calyx, I have to have an LOA, enter it in on a Google spreadsheet as we would close VA loans with all the pertinent info on it, because a lot of times it's zip code, FICO. Basically, everything can be exported from ARIVE, and it's literally a click of a button. And I was able, because at UMortgage, we have about 7 or 8 vetted professionals. So I was able to get us all on one report. And it gets sent out to each LO, because there is some info on there that you have to like manually put in, because ARIVE can't tell you if there was a Tidewater request on an appraisal. I don't think any software system can, but if creating that report was as easy as call reports. And in the past, I have helped my previous broker owner with call reports, and it was an absolute nightmare out of our previous system. Like it was, like Nikki said, days of work. And from what I've seen in here, and I actually did pull a call report once, it was just like instant. It was amazing.
Yeah, we definitely get that a lot, how, call reports used to take days or hours and hours, and ARIVE has kind of changed the game for that. So definitely, I appreciate you guys speaking towards that. Can you talk to me a little bit about how the POS has been like with clients?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to jump in front.
That's okay, go ahead.
I love the all-in-one platform, to where you don't have to create. We used to use a Citrix share file for document exchange. So just the way that my realtors have the app link, that they can do. We have the co-branded, they're on there as well. But I have not had any negative customer feedback. Like I maybe had to reset a password once, but that was operator error and not ARIVE error. And just being able to have that list and how the list can adjust based off what fields the client suggests. Like, you know, they click self-employed, it's going to add all those needed documents rather than do an app, import it to the software, scrub the app, then send the list. It just does it all at once. And while the customer is working on the list, if it's an urgent pre-approval, I can go in there and get notifications as everything's being uploaded and knock it out that way. And I've gotten great feedback on the realtors being able to access the back end of the pipeline of the POS and adjust pre-approval letters on the fly.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that too, because that's another feature that I know people really like is using that realtor portal. But Nike, I'll let you go ahead and kind of answer the same question. What's your experience been like with the POS for clients?
It's pretty easy. It's user friendly. And I also love how you can go in and ask some questions, and based on that questions, it helps in actually save me a lot of money on credit pulls. I have situations, you know, where clients will freeze their credit reports. And so I have a question on my POS that would ask the borrower if their credit is pulled or not. And so if the credit is pulled, then I know that I have to inform them. If the credit is frozen, I have to know that, okay, I need to inform them to unfreeze the credit so I don't have to pull credit twice. And then I think I have like 2 or 3 other questions that actually helps me a lot and saves me time. So it's pretty easy, it's user friendly. And I don't think I've had any clients that complained about the POS at all. I was using Shape CRM. I don't know if there's any Shape users out here. I don't know. But I was using them as a POS prior to ARIVE. It was a nightmare. A lot of times, clients will upload documents and I can't see it. I don't get notified. And with ARIVE, it's totally different. It's totally amazing. When clients upload docs, I get notified, my processor get notified. It's just amazing. I mean, I can't even say how awesome this platform is.
I love that this has really helped you guys so much in your business. I'm sure everyone here is taking a lot away from this, but we do have people who have joined recently. So I just want to reiterate, this call is specifically for everyone who has joined us, all of you guys right now on the line. If you have questions, please jump in and ask them. I said this earlier, but this is a very informal, casual conversation. And again, this is for you. So if you have questions, jump in, ask them. If you are not comfortable jumping in, you can chat me, which someone actually did. So I have one question from someone else.
I can take that one if you want.
Oh, okay. So this person says, what are your best practices for using applications? Do you prefer to personally take it? 2, do you have success with sending the link to the borrower to fill it out? Or 3, is it some type of hybrid of starting the application for the borrower and then inviting them to finish the application?
So when I get a referral sent over to me, I offer all options up front and basically ask the client what they prefer. Do you want to do it over the phone? Do you want to hop on like a Google Meet? And I can do it screen share and we can do it together. I would say about 92% of the time, they just opt for the link. Sometimes people want to have that phone communication, but majority of the time they opt for the link. Then I'll be able to review everything, kind of give it a quick scrub, and then follow up with a phone call to make sure they don't have any other questions, or if I have questions about the app. The link's automatically built into my email signature. It's a giant purple apply now button built into my logo. And I've gotten a lot of success with sending it via text. Like some of my agents actually have it saved, and I keep it basically up on my phone at all time. And it's funny, that's the first thing that opened up is I can just hit the share button and automatically send it to someone to create an account. And it's easy. I can track when they did it, because it gives you a notification when they start and complete. And that allows me to keep that email flagged in my email box if they have started and haven't touched it, or if Mr. Realtor reaches out and says, well, what's the deal with Kelly's app? Well, she started, hasn't finished it. I sent her a text, but my more aggressive realtor is like, I got you. I'll text them for you. So I've had lots of success with the link, and even more so with people that don't consider themselves tech savvy. It was easy for them to use.
Same here. Yeah, same here. I have it saved on my phone. So once I have someone that's interested in applying, I just send them the link to complete the application, and also send them to the realtors as well. Prior to ARIVE, when I was using Byte Pro, they'll have to fill out a paper application. Oh my goodness, I don't even want to go back to that. Fill out the paper application, and then, but now I would say 98% of my clients would complete the application themselves. Maybe just a few clients that will help over the phone, but most of the time, it's a huge game changer for me. It saved me a lot of time.
Yeah, and the automatic drip I'll add is nice as well, because it'll start pinging them if they have an open application, which saves me just one email. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but if you save yourself 15 minutes a few times a day, that does add up. And
it does.
It's just nice because it's a nice check behind us. So because I forget stuff all the time, that it'll automatically do that. So that's one of the other reasons I prefer that they do the online one, especially if I'm out of the office, if I'm at a meeting, if I'm traveling, then I can send the link and then I don't forget about it, and it'll ping them to complete it until they tell me to go away.
Yeah.
And I think when they fill out the application online, it reduces a lot of errors on your part or on the part of your processor. Then there's nothing like, oh, my name wasn't spelled right, oh, my social security number wasn't spelled right, because they're actually putting their information there themselves. So it saves you a lot of time.
Right. Makes sense. All right, we did get another question in. So do you both feel like when issues come up, when issues or problems arise, do you feel like you are able to get your questions answered or get your problems solved? How do you guys feel about ARIVE and us, our customer service, being able to get your questions answered? Maybe you could talk about the face group a little bit. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, for me, I just hit the chat button and then I get a response in less than 5 minutes. And I don't think I've really had issues. I think I've only used that chat button once because, like I said, it's user friendly. You can figure out just about anything on the platform. You don't even need, I have a processor that didn't even attend any of the training. She was able to figure it out herself. And so I've only used the chat button one time and it was pretty easy. Initially, when I started, I had to attend the online class. Oh, and that's one great thing about ARIVE. You guys are constantly offering classes to help, new users. So for me, I don't even have to sit with a new processor to teach them how to use ARIVE. I just have them schedule the training classes. Have them schedule and they can just see how it's done. And that saves a lot of time on my end as well. So customer support is great. I like it. When I was with Byte Pro, I have to call, leave a message, and wait for someone to call me back, maybe in 24 to 48 hours. I don't have that time to wait.
Yeah, the previous company I used, they had a number. I don't think anybody ever answered it for client support. I actually, knock on wood, I've been using ARIVE for about 6 months now and haven't had any issues. The one time I thought I had an issue, I was working remotely and was in a hurry to get to an appointment and pinged ARIVE and said, the DTI is not updating from the credit report. I imported it twice. Literally, someone's like, give me the loan number. They jumped in there and politely corrected me that all their debts were paid off. So it wasn't a real issue, but just the willingness to go in, let me see what's wrong, how can I fix this? And then noticing it wasn't a mistake, but operator error, they're like, hey, just, you're good. So that was a great experience. I'm glad there wasn't an error, but just a willingness to jump in and help from what I've seen is huge.
Awesome. Love hearing that. As you guys probably know, or as I hope you guys know, we take customer support really seriously. We actually have a couple people from our customer support team on the line right now in case there are any questions. So our next question is, okay, so what are some of your favorite features of ARIVE? What's been most helpful for you and your teams?
Okay, so for me, the milestone updates, oh my goodness. I love that the most. I think I love that the most, the milestone updates. I had a listing agent reach out to me last week and was just speaking so highly of the process, how awesome I was and all of that on that file, just because they get updates. You know, listing agents loves to get updates, just the same way the borrowers like to get updates, and the borrowers love those updates. So the milestone updates, that's one of my favorites. Being able to price multiple lenders without going to their website, that's another favorite of mine. And then also, I actually asked my processor to let me know what she loves about ARIVE so I can share with everyone. And she said the system is extremely updated. It's easy for customers. The note section is well organized, keeps communication with customers very smooth. Love that you can add lender condition and attach docs to each condition. So that was her, what she loves about ARIVE. And yes, the note section, and you're able to tag your processor or your LOA on what you need them to do and all of that. And then what else? Oh, the search feature. So like when clients upload documents and you have them labeled, you can actually go into the search feature and search for, like this morning I was looking for a closing disclosure. And then all I did was type in closing disclosure and boom, it's up. I don't have to go through 120 pages of documents to find that particular document that I want. So it's right there. And yeah, those are my favorites.
Awesome.
I think for me, from what I've seen so far, it's just using it as basically a centralized platform. Like the setup in contacts is huge because, you know, we work with a lot of the same people all the time. So it's easy to just search Brady Law Firm for, like me as my go-to attorney, pop them in there. They're used to the templates, fire out orders, or you can see who's actually a contact on the file where, you know, you don't have to manually enter it in. You can email out from that. And then the biggest thing that we're using is we use it as a whole log, like an accountability log. Any communication goes in there and you tag the loan officer, or like today I had file clear to close. We have plenty of time to work on it. Veteran called me today, so I want to waive my escrows. Okay, cool. Tag my processor, do a COC to waive escrows. She tagged it back, done, assigning to our closer. Closer gets added. You can see who's added and removed from the file. We drop pricing in there in case we have to go back and reference it, because you can just easily cut and paste an image in there with the snipping tool. And I like I said, I'm big on the doc exchange, so you can easily, rather than, I mean, sometimes you do have to call the client and explain it to them. We call our clients on every conditional approval, but if they send a bank statement that's cut off, just politely reject it and say, this is why, and it's easy to get fixed. I'd say the biggest thing, because we have employees all over the country, like, you know, me and my other branch partner are both in Raleigh, but we don't work together in an office. We do meet up, but our processors in Western NC, my other processors in Georgia, and it's easy to, like I said, the communication piece through there, but we use the loan narrative box. I like how the customer can do it, but we actually had our learning and development manager build out a 4 bullet point item that you all loan officers cut and paste, put in a loan narrative. It's where are the funds coming from? How do you calculate income? Any pain points on it? Anything that we need to know about this so that anybody can reference and get a quick snapshot of what's going on in a loan. So you have someone like our processor had a sick kid at school or camp, had to go get him. She was out for a day. We assigned someone else. We could easily go in there, see exactly where we're at from the communication log, and then just take 5 minutes, read the loan narrative, get a feel for the file. Not that I don't want to be bothered, but it saved her time from having to reach out, and she could easily see, all right, we just needed a title adjustment. I'm going to upload that and then put notes in there, remove herself from the file, and the other processor came back and was waiting on a CTC. So just if you use, like any tool, if you use it to its max capabilities, it's huge.
Yeah.
Great. We did get another question via chat, but before I get into it, I just want to remind everyone, feel free, jump in, unmute yourself, or chat me your question. I'm happy to ask it. That's what this person did. And this person would like to know your honest opinion on the ARIVE pricing engine. How has that helped you and your business?
I mean, for me, I'm not subscribed to Loan Sifter. So since I know I hear a lot about it on the Brokers Are Better group, but since I have ARIVE, so I'll just go in there and price along with all of the lenders that I'm signed up with, and I see who is offering a better product for my client, and then I decide to just register that loan with the client, with the lender. So it's pretty useful, and it saves you a lot of time going from pricing from one lender to the other.
Yeah, I've never used Loan Sifter either, but it's nice to be able to, you get a feel for your lenders after doing this for a while of who's going to do a deal best, so you can pick and choose who prices out. Really, the only pain points is sometimes our lenders aren't the quickest to get the updates in there. So just sometimes double check pricing, but it's been accurate, I'd say about 99% of the time. I know like Windsor had some issues integrating earlier, but they seem to have fixed all those. So that was really the only pain point, was them integrating into the ARIVE system and just being able to set the parameters the way you want. Like I said, I've never used Loan Sifter, but I don't think you can get as detailed on what you want in the quote as you can here.
All right, cool. Someone else asked, so Nika, you were speaking earlier at the beginning about your transition process over to ARIVE. So someone is wondering, how long did it take you to fully transitioned over, or until you really felt comfortable on the platform?
So we have some files in Lending Pad. So what I did was just to back then I had two processors. So what I did was just to have them move their files to ARIVE, and I would say maybe less than a month to fully move to ARIVE. And even now, I still kept a seat with Lending Pad. They don't even want to go back to Lending Pad. I remember a few days ago, I was just asking, hey, do you guys still want me to keep your seat with Lending Pad? Maybe we're going to switch back. And everybody was like, no, we're not going back. So less than a month to switch over, and no issues.
How about you, Mike?
I just came in with basically a blank pipeline, but very, very little ARIVE training, because it was like 2 years ago. When did ARIVE do the demo, like the pilot, the beta test? That was years ago. That was the only experience I had. So I didn't do any of the formal trainings. I know my new LOAs and processors do, but like I said earlier, I was able to teach myself, I think, within 3 weeks, not 100% on my own, but like doing screen shares with other loan officers. We used Workplace to do internal chat. So there was like new Arrive users were in the one group, and it was pretty easy just to learn everything. And the updates, you know, just pay attention to the updates that come out, because just read quick and it's easy. Like whoever wrote the VA residual calculator, kudos, amazing, love it.
I will pass on that feedback. Cool. So no one asked this, but I'm wondering, can you guys talk a little bit about dual AUS?
Well, I don't use that feature in Arrive so once I decide on a lender that I'm going to send a file to, they have that option. So I just use it on that website. So I don't use it in Arrive.
Gotcha. Mike, how about you? Do you use it?
I use it all the time. It's just easier to do the side-by-side comparison, just to see, you know, always read your findings. That's like elementary, but a lot of LOs don't read your findings, not just a quick screenshot, but the quick screenshot's awesome. Just for the fact that it'll pull, I deal with a lot of self-employed people and always run both to see who's going to give me the 1 year and everything like that. But a lot of investors I work with, it's easier to just get, all right, who wants less reserves? Stuff like that. So I use it quite a bit.
Awesome. Cool. All right, I'm going to take a second here to allow just anyone who wants to chime in to do so. Again, you can ask anything you are interested in. If it seems off topic, that's fine. If you want to know Nike and Mike's favorite movie, let's talk about it. You are invited to ask any question. But in the meantime, let's move on to, let's just talk about, how do you guys feel that Arrive has changed your business? So I know I think I'm hearing a lot of time, right? You're getting time back. But can you just speak on that a little bit?
So for example, the milestone updates. So usually prior to Arrive, once the loan is approved, I have to send out an email to the client and say, thank you for the loan and yada, yada, yada. We'll go over the application. Go over the approval with the client. Now, the moment I change the status in Arrive, it sends out an email to the client and the agent. And if the client sends in documents and the document is not readable or anything like that, all you have to do is reject the document, send them a reason why you're not accepting that document, and boom, an email is sent out. What else? When I'm out of the country, I'm able to use the platform. I remember I think it was last month, we were out on a cruise. I was able to send as long as you have internet connection, you're able to log into your system. So I was able to send out a pre-approval letter even while I was on vacation. And so that is a big deal for me, because sometimes I'm out. So, and being able to take that platform with you wherever you go, it's a game changer for me. And what else? Yeah, that's pretty much, and then, when you open the platform, it actually shows you your client birthdays. I'm big on celebration. I love to celebrate. So when I see the birthdays of the client, I can easily call them up and say, hey, it's your birthday, happy birthday. They feel so good about that. So that's another cool feature that I like about Arrive.
That's cool. I don't think I've ever heard anyone mention the birthday aspect of it, but it makes complete sense, right? You don't have to go looking around for whose birthday it is, or even
It's right there.
Yeah, cool. Mike, how about you? How do you feel like Arrive has changed your business?
Just the integration of the agents into the platform has been big, just because, if you need to shoot a pre-approval out on the fly, you can copy them on it, they're in there, then being able to adjust it's nice. Being able to, so I forget what old CRM I had at the last place I worked, but it was challenging to adjust who was getting those milestone updates. Like we have a listing now, and the listing agent has a TC, a transaction coordinator. Hey, can you put Jill on here? Sure, boom, give me your email right in there. You can adjust who gets what. And that's a nice feature to just be able to essentially one click and have multiple people be able to get updated on the same file, along with the bars and everything like that.
Yeah.
And one of our branches, our Michigan branch, has started using it on their phones, and I haven't tried it yet, but they're saying they love that because their guys are big on boots on the ground and go to open houses. And so, you know, if they don't want to bust out a tablet or a laptop, they're able to do a lot of things in ARIVE mobily, from what I've been told. Like I said, I haven't tried it yet. I need to, but
Yeah, try it.
the platform can integrate into a phone, where most lenders' websites won't even integrate into a phone, let alone a AUS, or not a AUS, a POS platform.
Yeah. Definitely try out the mobile version and let us know what you think, Mike, for sure. But we did just get another question. So John would like to know, does the system allow for 24/7 access? My last system wouldn't allow me to go on after 11 p.m.
24/7.
Love that. All right. So, Nike, Mike, just to kind of start to wrap it up here, what would you both say to someone who's maybe on the fence of using ARIVE? They maybe have watched a demo, but are just a little hesitant to dive in. What would you say to that person?
I said, just do it. Just do it. It's gonna save you a lot of time. Trust me. I'm not a really techie person, and this platform really has changed my business. Like I said, the milestone updates, it's huge. Just the use of the platform is very easy. So I don't think you're gonna find anything that's better. Like I said, I used Bike Pro for about 19 years, and then the moment we switched over to Lending Pad, I was like, I'm never ever going to go to Bike Pro, because Lending Pad was a better version of Bike Pro. And then when I got into ARIVE, it's even a much better version of Lending Pad. So there's no reason for you not to switch over to ARIVE. Just do it. I said it.
I like that. Go ahead, Mike.
I would say the ease of use. Like, I'm not super tech savvy, but I can work my way around a computer. But just the fact that, you know, we bring on lots of new LOAs, and we have internal training for them, but you're not going to waste a lot of man hours training someone on this software. There's no way that you can. If they can't, I mean, to be real blunt, if they can't learn this quickly, then you probably need a different person, because they're not going to get it if they can't pick it up quickly. What else was there? I think it's the ease and everything in there. I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, like I said, I only had Calyx before, and that was an absolute nightmare of being use, etc. I would say get the demo version, because once it's different from watching and someone telling you than actually, it's like test driving a car. You can go look at it, you can go read the reviews, you can watch videos of it, but you actually have to get behind the wheel of ARIVE, and then you can see, all right, this is pretty simple and pretty intuitive.
Yeah. And it's
I want to add, if you're not sure, just go on YouTube and watch that video posted by Lisa Lund. I mean, the video of Lisa going over the platform. That was what actually made it for me to try the platform. So that was really, so just go on YouTube and search for that and watch. And then one other thing that I want to share and I like about ARIVE is they're constantly updating the platform. I like to see it as a platform built by brokers for brokers. Because every time when people go on to their Facebook page and make suggestions, they take that and run with it. So that's one thing that I really love about it. I remember when I was lending pad and I suggested a feature, they told me, oh, we'll get to that, you know. And I'm not saying they're not good, but ARIVE is the greatest for real. It is.
Well, I'm glad that you brought up the Facebook page actually, because this is a good opportunity to say anyone on the call right now who isn't a part of our Facebook page or a Facebook group, it's called ARIVE Mortgage Brokers, please join that. This is just a gold mine of information there. It's users, brokers sharing information with one another. You know, the ARIVE team is also on there and taking feedback from there every single day. So definitely join that if you have not. And also I did just want to mention, so Nike and Mike, you both have said, you know, just do it, just join, just do it. Don't look back. I thought this was a perfect time to mention that we do offer a 7-day free trial. So if you are one of those people like Mike was talking about, where you have to just kind of get in the seat of the car and really understand what's going on, that's kind of how I learn best as well. You know, get a trial and see how you like it. And then one other thing before we wrap up, Joel would like to know how often our trainings are. So we have trainings almost every single day of the week. We have 2 sessions of new user training every Wednesday. We have office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have a brand new onboarding and Q&A session. And again, this is for people who, you can be an ARIVE user or you cannot be an ARIVE user. You do not have to actually be a part of the platform to join that one. You can join and ask your questions. We have ARIVE University, which walks us through the updates and enhancements to the system. That's every other Friday. And then we have this session every Friday. So there are quite a lot of trainings and learning opportunities. Those are all available with more information on arrive.com/events. That's where you can find that. All right. So Mike, Nike, did we cover everything? Was there anything that you guys wanted to speak to that we didn't get to, or did we pretty much cover everything? What do you think?
I think we did.
I think we did too.
Mhm.
We didn't cover the quoting feature so easy.
Oh, cover it.
It's you can look at multiple lenders side by side and select different lenders, because you know how goofy rate sheets can get sometimes. So you might have one lender that's, you know, 499 is better with them versus lender B, and then vice versa for a higher rate. And then once you set the fees, if you got a needy client, I know we all do, that wants to see 400 quotes. I mean, yeah, it sucks sending out 400 quotes to one client, but it's so easy. Like, you go in there, click what you want, delete what fees you want. You can update it in there. You can review it from there, customize your template and everything. That's another thing that's nice. ARIVE is built to customize it for your branding, you know, with colors, how you put your logos on, the pre-approvals and everything like that. It doesn't really have ARIVE on it anywhere that I'm aware of. But yeah, that quoting feature is nice, because it's one thing to go to Loan Sifter or like Mortec and other quoting software, and then whatever you're using to input it in, it just saves time by automatically pulling it over to your cost sheet. It's nice and colorful if you haven't seen it. It breaks down the, you know, one-page scenario, breaks down principal, interest, taxes, insurance, HOA, breaks out what the fees are, which is nice, how separates it, because a lot of people don't understand the loan estimate. They think that all these fees are closing costs, and I'll actually tell you what your lender costs are. And if you price in commitment fees and everything and with the right rate, it's always cool to send it to the client. Lender fees, nothing's there. Oh, that's because we're not charging anything, but we do have the third party and services you shop for, and your taxes and insurance. So yeah, the quoting feature in itself is amazing.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because after 50 minutes of speaking about ARIVE features, you're like, no, we didn't talk about it enough. There's even more we didn't get to. So it's awesome. Thank you for bringing that up. And thank you both for being here and sitting in on this.
Oh, can I add one more thing?
Please, yes.
All right. So one of the things that I also love about ARIVE is when the client sends in documents, you know how you are trying to put all of your paperwork together to submit to underwriting, you can actually go in and make notes on those documents. The one that I usually do the most is the EMD. You know, sometimes you send in bank statement, the underwriter doesn't see the EMD leaving the borrower's account. So you can actually highlight and make note, just make it easier on the underwriter. So that's another feature that I really, really love, being able to add notes or, you know, highlight or all of that, so that it's a lot, because you want to make your file look decent when you submit to underwriting. You want to reduce the number of conditions you have when your loan is approved. So with all of that, you can actually, you know, make notes, make sure you have everything in place before you send them in. So that's another thing that I really love.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that last minute tidbit, Nikkei. I'm sure everyone here appreciates that as well. You both were awesome. Thank you so much for jumping on, sharing your experiences with us. These conversations are really important for both our new users and people who have been using the system for a while and maybe just want to know how other people get the most out of it. So I really appreciate you being here. I know everyone on this call definitely appreciates you being here. And yeah, that's kind of it for this call, but you can catch us back here live for another Broker Connect in 2 weeks. We'll have another pair of awesome guests for you waiting to share their knowledge. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yo.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.